cultural aspects of, let's say, system, we see that cultural aspects culture is quite a comprehensive kind of concept. It is all the production of the human beings. So culture of society determines the rules and regulations, the customs, the let's say folkways, the mores of the society. Now that also determines the mores of society of different classes. That's what we see. Marx theorized about the cultural aspects of capitalism. And one of the aspects on which he focused was the ideology. Now, ideology refers to the ideas about the system, about the way life it has to proceed. Now, here he is talking about ideas which emerge out of capitalism. These ideas could be about the property, about the ownership, about the individuality, about the equality or inequality. All these things come in as part of the ideas. And what are the prevalent ideas, और इन आइडियाज़ को ही हम ideology की बात में लाते हैं. So he says that ideology refers to the ideas that emerge out of the economic system, which is the capitalism, and that has been the focus of Marx. So what he says is that there are contradictions of capitalism. And capitalism, with respect to the production, it produces more and more, and then it has surplus production. And that surplus production might then end up with, let's say, prevention of the change. So that's the system on which he is talking about. And he says that there are contradictions in these ideas. So ideas, what we see is that they justify, they support the change in the society, or let's say status quo in the societies. Now, these ideas emerge out of the way people obtain their livelihood, their living, their sustenance, and from the capitalistic system, which is based on the division of labor, which is a feature of industrial society. So these ideas prevent change that are necessary in the forces of production. So in the forces of production, when they talk about the industrial development, there is a continuous kind of change. Maybe innovation is one of the important features of that society. So innovation is necessary. We see that they have to have new ideas, new technology. Now, technology replaces the human beings. Of course, that replaces the labor. Now, technology cannot innovate. For the innovations, the human beings have to come in. Here might be some kind of contradiction. So prevalent ideas tend to prevent these changes. So ideologies are systematic views of the way world ought to be. Maybe these ideas emerge out of the religious system or political views of the state, and they find that we see that the individuals have the right to own property. Might that idea emerge, or these ideas emerge out of the political system, or it may have roots somewhere in religion, but right to use the means of production for their own benefit. Now, this is something which is contradictory. The first is that individuals have the right to own property and the capital. Then right to use the means of production for personal, let's say, advantage. Now, here it might be some kind of contradiction. Now, in that situation, only rich can use it by choice, whereas the labor class will not be able to use it because even their labor is not their, let's say, property. This may be considered as property of others who pay for that labor. Now, they cannot hold that they do not provide this labor because they don't have a choice. They have to depend on their labor or the earnings of their labor. So that is some kind of a contradiction. So what we see is that ideology as the systems of the ruling class that takes precedence over anything else. So systems of the ruling ideas hide these contradictions. So since they have the, let's say, means of communication, their ideas take the, let's say, upper hand, and they are pervasive. वो ऊपर prevail करते हैं, सबके ऊपर वो हावी होते हैं. So one usual way is the contradictions are the personal problems or individuals, let's say, whims. So that is how they think that the whole thing proceeds. So no matter who creates them, these ideologies always are beneficial to the owners of the means of production. That's the capitalist class, that's the ruling class. So they do not, I think they do not help in helping the contradictions to, let's say, emerge, and these contradictions come with respect to the system. So that will lead to, these contradictions might lead to change, but they try to hide these. They would like to have the status quo. They don't want to bring change in the system.